Yeah, we worked very hard on trying to build our style of play, our game model. And it started, like you've rightfully mentioned, with the previous head coach. And the difficulty has just been about introducing the new players and trying to adapt to the new style of play, the new environment, and to rebuild in a way as a new team. So we understand the process. We understand what happened with our team. We know why we are where we are. We know the transition that took place, and we know that at the beginning of the season, we unfortunately had to make sure that we make a facelift on the squad. And when we do that, when you unfortunately have to let go of 15 players and you bring in 10 players, of course there's an adaptation that needs to take place. But if you look at the reality of the situation, last season, where we were with the same number of games before coming here, we were 10 games and we had 16 points. We came into this match, 10 games, 13 points. So while still trying to manage the transition, while still trying to manage and work with the new group and the adaptation process that needs to take place, I think the players have done extremely well to make sure that they protect the reputation and the integrity of the club, which is the most important thing. Of course, big clubs are judged by results, and we know that, and we are never going to step down from that, because the moment we step down from that, we lose our status as a big club. But we are realistic. We are realistic, and fortunately, we have one. Our management understands football and understands where we are, and understands why we are where we are. And our supporters are also people that are football understanding people. But be that as it may, we've got to obviously start turning these good performances into results. It could easily have been 3-2 just before the penalty. There was a 2v1 Lodge had, and these are the decision-making issues. I don't call them mistakes. I call them decision-making issues. And you is what pictures do our players see? And you've got to encourage them to create more of those situations. But we keep working harder to improve, because from then on they go and they get Parker goes and gets a swimming pool, and but what is, we can't talk about too much about it. Like I said to you, and I've watched it. I've gone inside and I've watched it time and time again. My analysts have shown me all the incidents, and I know Coach Ernst does his homework. I know he's gonna watch the incidents also, and he's an honest and a man of integrity, and I think he will accept some of the things that happened on the pitch as a man of integrity and as an honest gentleman that I respect. And I've known him for long, and he knows I've been speaking to him before. He knows the amount of respect I have for him. But I think after he watches, I think he's the man that I know, and the man that's well brought up, as he's already confessed. I think he will come back and he will be honest and say some of the incidents really is unfortunate. It really is really unfortunate. It shouldn't be on the pitch.
Thank you, Coach. We'll take the last three questions. We'll start at the top.
Just add something. It's a process, and I definitely will do my best to be clear structured. What I'm always doing, reflecting, and unfortunately my analyst is with Bafana going today. He comes back on a I don't know, probably have to wait some days more, but I do my own. I think actually, just to add some numbers in, we released 18 players and we brought in only 5. Adaption, question now, what is more difficult, what is more easier, in which way? And secondly, when we discuss, I believe just before we got the penalty, fully deserved, was my current position. If you have an action of a player, there are two components. One component is a decision maker. And the player who made this decision to just look the ball over the goalkeeper made absolutely the fantastic right decision. The decision component alone is not bringing you the success. You have to go decision making component and skill execution component. These are two components what brings you a successful action, successful scoring, successful final tapping in. So now, decision making, I believe it was right. Skill execution component was not so good. There the mistake is coming in.
Thank you, Coach.
Unfortunately, Lodge is my players. I've got to coach him on that, and I think it's the decision making. But you've got your own work to do, so I've got my work to do also.
Thank you. The questions have narrowed down to two. Let's take the one at the top and we'll get the last one somewhere here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Nick. I'm from a college. Coach Rhulani. Your boys' second half are here.
Yes, yeah.
Your boys' second half came back turbocharged and guns blazing. Don't you want to tell us what did you tell them in the dressing room? And Coach Middendorp, on numerous occasions, I've noticed you looked frustrated, cheesed off, and a little bit heartful because we were talking a lot to the fourth official at the touchline. Don't you want to tell us what was it? Did you have an issue there? Thank you.
Fortunately for the public, Pirates are unbelievable with regards to how they've moved from a commercial and a marketing perspective. And there's something called Pirates TV. There's a Pirates app that gives you exclusive access into what happens in our change room. And without giving too much away, I think if you go into that, then you will understand, because otherwise I've got to repeat my French, because there was a lot of French that was said in the change room at halftime. So I'd rather not, and I'd rather than try to promote Pirates TV and try to congratulate the Pirates marketing department for fantastic work that they're doing, and they give exclusive, the only club that gives exclusive footage to the change room, and this is my answer to your question.
Thank you, Coach. And the word hardball was mainly used as a slang, Coach. It's just talking about you looked more frustrated.
You are coming with question around. Really, you guys are always in a way where I think actually something is happening. I don't know under what circumstances you entered here, but let me be very clear. This type of question, being frustrated, winning 3-2, seeing and asking the fourth referee if he can please have a talk. This mango fouls, what I've seen consistently over 90 minutes, or 90, 100 minutes, or 100 minutes, whatever in terms of, and you are coming around with such question. You're good.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The last question will be here.
Coach Rhulani, after your win at Highlands Park, I asked you whether the manner you won really mattered, and you were neither here nor there. You didn't give us a clear answer. Today, seeing that the decision went against your team, does the manner of losing matter? The manner in which you lost really matter again?
Thank you.
Yeah. The manner in which you lose is important. I said to the players at halftime, I said, when you're a soldier and you sign up to serve, you go to war, and they find that you are dead in the jungle. They do a post-mortem. If they find that the bullet was shot at your back because you were running away, they call you a coward. So there's a certain way that Orlando Pirates must lose football matches. But not by bowing down and allowing opponents to bully them and all of that. There's a certain way we have to respond to the game, and there's a certain way we've got to play, particularly because we've prepared in a certain way. We don't want to beat ourselves, and when we lose to a better opponent, and like I said, Kaizer Chiefs are good enough to beat us. on tactics. They beat Sundowns 6 on tactics, and okay, other related issues. It's not my business. But this is it's a strong Kaizer Chiefs team. They made rotations, 8 rotations against Chippa, and they beat Chippa. They're a strong side. So, but we don't accept to be bullied over and allowed to change our personnel. Of course, we call ourselves chameleons because we've got to adapt to certain things, and the game forms of Chiefs are very different to the game forms of all the other clubs, Maritzburg, that we played, Highlands Park. But yes, the way you lose a match is you have to lose the match with dignity and pride and represent the club well. And that's very, very important. And I think credit to the players for that. We've already seen it against Cape Town City. We've seen it against Bidvest. We see it again today as well. Unfortunately, today under different circumstances, but gallant performance, and I've just got to say kudos to the players for their never say die attitude, their relentlessness, and I'm very proud of the Orlando Pirates players, I must tell you. I've said this before to you guys, I've got a very long way of coaching to go. I've got a very long way. I don't know where it will take me. Outside of the borders, or I'll stay here, but I've got a very long way and I've got a lot to learn, and I'm prepared to learn. But I must tell you that with these Pirates players, for me, they go down into my heart, and they've endeared a bigger brother for life in me because of their spirit and their attitude. Is an honor to work with this group of players. It's unbelievable.